Om Shanti. Baba said to write Q, even when child has to learn, takes time to write, right? Make a circle, then comma in between. But when you write A, it's easy. One of our greatest fortune is that our learning is coming from the source of truth. Our learning is coming from authority of knowledge and authority of powers. That's what my not only intoxication, but all the time this, I don't even call it faith, because that's what I believe, that's what I trust, because faith could be something very much based on intellect, but when it's deep down, then you call it your trust and belief. I really believe, and we all do believe, that who is teaching us. So the learning which is happening in us is really coming from that, as I said, source of truth and authority, knowledgeful. And not only, of course, it's the source of truth is one God, Baba, Shiv Baba. But then how the instrument, Brahma Baba, was able to stay so closely and listen. Brahma Baba listened, and listening, then he has to then what he heard, what he understood, had to be implemented in such a way where we all, in millions, has that example in front of us. He was the only one. We still have so many in front of us. So I was thinking about his listening was also true listening. That is why sometimes I pay a lot of attention to the informations which come from different sources. I don't call it knowledge sometimes. I say it's different informations on history, on geography, and all those are different informations. And really they are not related. That information is not related with truth. So only source of knowledge and true learning is coming from Baba. 3 qualities of Baba, there are many. One is, sometimes I ask this question, is Baba knowledgeful first or is he ever pure first? What is first quality of Baba? Purity or knowledge? Purity or knowledge? Huh? Why I am saying it? Because first, like us, we receive knowledge and then we become pure. So it must be knowledgeful. Because he is knowledgeful, he is ever pure. That's one very good thing, because then when we listen to knowledge, really we listen to knowledge, to change knowledge into purity. That we still have to see if there are subtle impurities. The reason could be that my listening and my implementation of knowledge is not complete yet. Very simple, I call it principles of knowledge and points of knowledge. Generally we say points of knowledge, but points of knowledge is not. Every aspect of knowledge is a principle to live. Simple aspect, this is drama. So each one has to play a different part. Whatever part anyone is playing, I have no right to say, this one shouldn't be like this. Why I have to say that? Because that's that one's part, no? Brahma Baba, for every scene of drama, every situation, for every individual, watched, observed, taught in the sense of he inspired, gave company. His teaching was just to inspire us. And through his company, he taught us everything. So if we apply every principle, every aspect of knowledge makes you a principle of life. And then it will become your value, or it will become your virtue, or even your power. Because principle has a lot of power. Mahatma Gandhi had principle of non-violence, and the power which came. Even as some people read books and make a comment on Mahatma Gandhi's not being that successful, but I always see what he did as liberating from empire was first our country and worldwide, one after another, all the colonies all over the world of all different alien rulers were liberated. French, Spanish, any you think about, Portuguese. So there was power in his principle. And so in the same way, if I believe this knowledge is coming from that source, that truth, then every point or every aspect, when we listen, make it your principle and think, speak, and act based on that principle. So that knowledge is changing into light and might, or because that's what it is, no? Purity is what? Purity is seen in the light, in the form of light, and also power. No? Powers also come from purity. So purity is light, might, and they add that purity also is a virtue in itself. That means it changes into a virtue. So Baba is knowledgeful, then Baba is ever pure. And instant, all the time, the experience which comes from Baba is the experience of, what's the third quality you will put in? Love. We might say peace, joy, that's after, but natural quality of purity is love. Dadiji, her purity is described by saints and sages as divine purity. Said she is not pure, she is divine. That means has not only spiritually higher, but divine in the sense of it has become like worship worthy. Once there were 85, all top gurus, Mahamandleshwars and all these people. And Dadi in Dadi's sitting room, and Dadi had this nature, because love is another thing where you are very humble, so she will ask one of he had like 200,000 just followers in the sense of they run the center, so Dadi asked him to sit next to her. And he was sharing his experience. I also came, I wanted to see, and it was in 85 or around that time. So he said in his experience when he was leaving that Daddy, because when you are pure, you are one of the uniqueness in you is innocence. Child's innocence is coming from purity. So Dadiji had that, innocence. So she must have, like they wrapped the sari around, so she was trying to do that. Something like her, just a piece of sari touched his body, like she must have done it. And he said, I couldn't believe that the current of purity, he just felt so much purity. Generally, he said, I just felt that we are running these big ashrams, but there's nothing like what the purity and divinity is as in Dadiji. He went on a long thing. So love is something which really comes from natural love, because in love comes liking, in love can come different things, but that love is not coming from purity. There are some people, they love this one, so like this one more, and don't like this one, talk to this one, not to talk. But if any kind of discrimination is coming based on any reason, because that love is not coming from purity. And that's why people get trapped, and that's why there are fears of being loving also. And this is what really each one of us have. When Baba was talking about purity, I was thinking about that purity creates this natural love. And when there is love, that a very common word which is popular in Buddhist more, but worldwide people respect that word, is compassion. Because the kindness which is involved, the gentleness which is involved, forgiveness, generosity, all these qualities are emerging from this pure love. Generosity of heart, and that means you just let go, you just don't hold on to anyone's weakness, or there's generosity there. Who am I to forgive anyone anyway? I have to seek forgiveness from Baba and everyone. I'm not the one who can forgive anyone. Only I will do it so that I don't. Sometimes say, who am I to forgive? Forgiveness comes from Almighty. But also we ask everyone, if by mistake, because of any role we playing, we did anything which hurt you, we ask for forgiveness also. But love brings all these qualities natural. And these are the qualities which I always say, if there is love, you care. And everything in the world, every individual in the world looks for care. Do you care for that person? Do you care for feelings of person? Even physical, material things, if you really take care of them, they last longer. They stay with you. A lot of people find their slippers get torn quickly, their clothes get torn quickly, their watches break, their badges fall down. So when Dari says, no, you have to take care. So when there is this love, the energy of the virtues, energy of different qualities which are human, soul conscious oriented, not role conscious oriented. It's a very big issue comes in where, what is my role? And with that, there are about 6-7 aspects where you can see, are you playing role in soul conscious or role conscious? See, each spiritual individual here had been also given some responsibilities. Surveys, some departments, some organizational aspects. And there comes some rules, regulations, disciplines. But how did Brahma Baba apply them? How did Brahma Baba taught us? Was never by force, never by scolding, never by putting pressure on anyone, never. Through his light, through his might, through his love. Because realizations can only come when there is love. And it should stay. It should never change, never, for anyone. Whatever one does is, there is already somebody who's taking care of karmic accounts. Why, who am I to look into that? A lot of people, you sit with them, they only talk about others. And I said, how long, for how much am I supposed to be getting my head into anything? So first thing what start happen, it comes in Gita. Baba also took on that. There is a kamekshu, krodekshu. That means when there are unfulfilled desires, creates anger. Even lust here means, the first vice, as we say. And then Baba said, you are celibate. So that's only first aspect. But desires could be lustful living, lustful, anything. We use a positive word, I have a passion for it. Or I'm ambitious in a positive way. But one has to be very deeply within, like applying knowledge, being an instrument, and thinking about purity, what one has to look at that. One very big attainment in the title, from purity, comes in one who is ignorant of desires. If you ask Dadi, what do you want? What do you want? Dadi will say, what do I need? I have all attainments. So desires, very subtly. So some people say, but then these are pure desires. I feel there is no pure desire. There can be pure vision, but not desire. When I'm saying vision in the sense, like Dadi wanted something very big, 5,000 people come, because she had this vision. She was seeing 5,000 Brahmins, and she had this thought. Thought is coming from a vision. It's not thought is coming from a wish or desire. I wish this could happen. We express it. But my own experience is that when there is a pure vision, it's not towards individuals, even for service. Baba's flag being hoisted worldwide, people singing the praise of God. It could be called pure desire, but if you really look at it as just imagine that if that's happening in the world, you create, many times, like I see that vision. I've seen for New York so many visions, and I know internally that if there is a vision always comes with a lot of trust. It's coming from very deep. And you don't get impatient when you have vision, because you trust and you know it's going to happen. Like Brahma Baba, so many things he said, and we are listening. Even for myself, when I think of how many blessings he gave me, but he never lost hope in me or lost patience with me, never. Honestly, there is not much time, but if I share stories, how much he wanted me to do and how little I did. But every time I came, true love means courage. This time also Baba said, when there is love, I am with you. Have courage and commit and say, promise that we won't get angry. Because I am with you. So love creates that courage. So desires, they are like little ripples. They just keep coming. And second is expectations, It's a big thing of expectation. We had one retreat only on expectations. It was, families, and so we had intergeneration dialogue between children, young adults, older married couples, and 4 generations interdialogue on expectations, because in family that's what it is, no? So there was big questions on, but how come you don't have expectations? Naturally, the children are grown up, parents expect, and whether it's discipline or support or financially availability, whatever it is. But deep within, really, if you go, giving is something which brings. Can you imagine if you have given and it doesn't come to you? Why should I? Because expectation makes you, it's a lot of self-projection there. When I was very young Brahmin, Manohar Dadi was visiting the center I was, and fortunately, or whatever reason, that was the biggest center in India, and I was there, and she came and she gave me a lesson which I really remember. She said, if you think everyone's intellect will work like you, you will take a lot of sorrow. Everyone's intellect will work different. Like my efficiency was, until now when I am in a kitchen, people feel it's better than an office because I don't let anything fall over or everything, because there is a quality to organize. She said, never expect that kind of efficiency from everyone, because what will lead to frustration. She said, in Hindi, sabki buddhi ek jaisi nahi hoti, na ho sakegi. It's not possible. You have it, you have gifts, you use it, and operate in such a way that people can learn. Otherwise, in relationships, subtly what happens is, what we create actually are fears. Here I go, I was traveling in India. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do this. I said, do it with love. No, I have to do it because otherwise I will be scolded. It will be difficult for me. I said, don't do it with love and interest, not because of any fear. No? So, in the sense of that means you sharing deeply your talent, your blessings. Because if it's your blessing at confluence, say that you are specialized in something, then you need to share it, no? But if you start expectation leads to frustration, and frustration is one of the cause of anger. And frustration is your own frustration, not from people. It's coming from lack of inner attainments. Your focus has changed. If you have inner attainments, there will be contentment. Frustration, disappointment from people, from those who live with you, from your own self. And really, yesterday, day before, I was talking to a few individuals. Everyone said, I realized I changed myself, things have changed. We know this. That if I have inner attainments, my image, my walk and talk will share those attainments. And that's what it is about in the family, is to share your attainments. Frustration is very elusive, very elusive. And I also say it's very deceptive. Because you think it's always others, it's always others, it's always someone else. And second, very milder aspect of anger really is what we call irritation. And irritation comes from lack of patience and trust. How much Baba said when I came 52 years ago. But because it was coming from that love and purity and pure vision for me, his patience. Never we saw Baba getting irritated. Never. Big things happen, small happen. I have seen Brahma Baba into many major situations. One was in Delhi, two big ones. But at that time he will become like Tower of Silence. Why this tower as memorial was built? Because we saw him in situations where on his round pillow he is sitting and we going for instructions, what next to do, Baba? Because there is lot of, kind of things happening around. And we were the ones who had to go run in departments, get it sorted. So we went for what he has to tell us. Let's see. He was sitting on this round pillow. And it's just like the vision of, they show Lord Krishna sitting with leg upon leg or whatever posture. And through silence we got the message. He was never irritated about anything with anyone for any situation. Because if you're operating from your true being, if you're operating from your original self, if you're operating in soul consciousness, and then when there is irritation, there's a lot of wasteful thoughts, and you say a lot of wasteful things. That's another problem. I learned a lesson from Dadi Janki, and of course after that, once we had gone, when the service had just began in one of the country, so group was new, people were new, but still they got this big hall in a hotel, but behind the scenes a lot of things was happening, and Dadi Janki was sitting with me and she said, now where should our attention be? Now these people will come, we have to give them. So what she meant that there is no attention now on management, organizing, or any thoughts like that. And since then, once I sit, I just say what I'm supposed to give, what kind of vibrations I should have, why people have come here. Not just to listen to a lecture. They could read, they have enough of sources. But if they come, they want to feel, they want to experience, they want to get. So what she was saying that you could get, even there sitting, this is not right, that's not right. I have seen people sitting on the stage and making comments. This shouldn't have been like this, that should, I say, please. I don't say it. I say, please stop it. We are on a stage. Or even while walking, talking, the comments which come is coming from your own. Otherwise, what is our duty when things are not going well is to give power of silence. Some places I go and then people tell me, we are always told off, we are scolded, we are told as if we are not that worthy. And I feel we have to leave such a feeling in everyone's heart that how valuable and how worthy and how beautiful and how nice, because these are the feelings which will nurture. All nurturing of relationships really comes from these kinds of feelings. Right? So frustration and irritation. And Baba, today I was little bit noticing that morning was kind of rushing, and I was expecting one soul to come. Expecting means she had. And I started having one or two thoughts. And she appeared. I said, but why I wasted 2 thoughts? Good she came. If she wouldn't have come then also. So attention goes that when waste thought starts, that's where subtle anger will begin. And subtle anger is then you don't talk to that person, or you will turn away your face, don't look at that person. And this causes lot of sorrow. Why Dadiji sat in courtyard and said good morning to everyone, whether they looked at her or not, because that's what she was. You understand? So changes will happen if we really understand that deeply at our places, and then contact with other souls and whatever. In early 70s, we used to get very big groups from foreign land. And one country which we used to get, which is not even a country as that time was communism, in Czechoslovakia. I don't know if Shiluben was in Madhuban around that time, but nearby. So I used to come and attend. They were about 30, 35. So what really people came to learn and took us, and I also then went to Czechoslovakia. It was communism, but they invited me for 8 days. And in name of yoga, you could get visa also, so I went. But what they take, what they carry, is love, is peace. And always remember that our love is not my love, it's God's love. See, if it's your love, there is problem. Then certainly attachments and likings, favors, and but if it's God's love, so that's where my fairness and revealing Baba comes from, that this is what God gave me and I am giving you. How do we want to reveal Baba? Not through your personal love, but what I receive from God, they feel it and they say, like I said, they said divinity instead of purity for that. Your people should feel the presence of something which is much higher than just soul's power. And that is when you are expressing, and that's where the first important thing is, you have to check your life. Am I all the time receiving or living in God's love? Anything I touch, anything I say, anything I do, God's love has a lot of power. Honestly, you just touch anything with that love, it heals, it has a lot of power. But you do it very innocently too. I remember once I was in Guyana many years ago, so there was this eyepiece sister came to take me, and she said, but sorry, one of my glass of the car is not working. Today I'm supposed to fix it. So it doesn't matter. It was on my side. So I was just playing around and I said, maybe it's got stuck and it worked. She said, you saved my $1,800 because it got fixed. I didn't know anything. So it got fixed. So she came in the evening and she said, I want to give for Baba's box. But my experience is that God's love, Baba is bestower of happiness and remover of sorrow. Remover of sorrow. So now what is most important at this time actually is to think about one thing, change every aspect of knowledge to make it your principle, to avoid your thinking pattern which comes from sanskars. Yeah, I have to check, is this pattern of my thinking is still coming from my past? Is it coming from my past impressions about an individual? If you look at a bud, flower bud, and you look at other flower and say this one might not grow like this, and start comparing, you can never nurture that bud. You have to allow that one to grow. Sometimes we compare individuals and then we become stronger then. So they don't feel that love, they don't feel that joy which should come in their lives as they're becoming flowers. That's what happened. Anyone who come to Baba's home, they come for that. And second, as I said, experiencing God's love in life. Do I feel I can very comfortably, gently sit on his heart throne? Can I very naturally go into and dive into this ocean of love whenever I want? Do I feel I am under canopy of God's protection? So all these are different kinds of experiences and attainments. I was in Caribbean in January, and I had taken upon the drills, and 12 times we were doing all the time. So everywhere I went, wherever, so I practiced myself, those who were around in class, after Murli, before Murli. And I'm still getting emails that even when this Haiti situation happened, the sister who had to handle, and many other things happened after that, she said it's just the drill which helped me to really survive in many different situations, in the sense of keeping myself okay. Not troubled by physical things, but troubled by other aspects of the things. So again, I always feel that practice, enough of practice during day. Churning is all right. But churning, I feel, to me, right time, right churning happens. But practice is more important. And sometimes what happens in Brahmin life, that we do not really practice much. And it's the practice which brings power. No, Baba said in one Murli that if you don't do it, if suddenly you have to run, you will get cramps next day. But if you do it every day. So this is what, at least for me until now, the drills which I am keeping as incorporeal, as angelic. And it's so interesting because as soon as I have few thoughts or few moments, I get into something, I don't get into that by saying, oh, this is my seventh time of drill. How can I spend time there? So until now, as soon as I say, oh, my drills is not even 10 times yet for today. So this practice, the stage is created, any stage, any performance comes from practice. No? So practice in life, in Brahmin life, sometimes I feel planning for service, churning of knowledge, but practice and also this power of silence, go into deep silence and watch. You will see how things start functioning, how it's beautiful, beautiful things happening, and you yourself will see the miracles are happening. So I think what we have to do, as I said, that image of attainment. And attainments, from where attainments come? It's not from yesterday's attainment I can live today. It has to be every moment. That connection with Baba, so that I'm sitting wherever I'm attaining that fullness within you. There is a saying that hungry man is an angry man. In one of the country or a whole area, they always talk about when there is, like when you are really hungry, you are angry. So when soul is hungry, you are starving or you are not well nourished. Even a weak person gets irritated very quickly. Or sick person gets quickly A lot of people, they have temperament. Those who have diabetic, they are known for their moods and temperament, because when their sugar goes up or low, they feel palpitation, they go out of breath, and then their temperament. So in the same way, as I said, fullness inside is what really will make us free, whether it's love, it's peace, it's attainments. And that's what when Baba talk about perfection, karmatit, I don't know, we have different times, but this is what it is. Karmatit means you are not affected what is happening around you. Because don't forget that any reaction you have is you, from anywhere. And no one is responsible for your reaction, even it could be because of someone's action. Who will take my responsibility of my reaction? This one said it, so just I said it. No. I am responsible for my reaction or action. And 80% times we react, 20% we act from awareness. That much simriti. Am I operating from awareness or am I operating from when Baba says simriti sarup? Lot of time you find it's just reaction, oh please, try to understand there is what you should be doing it instead of. Responses are necessary and reactions are not. But responses need very positive, pure energy, then you could respond. Otherwise, either you will get stuck or you will react. Some people just stay quiet and some react. My learning these few days had been spontaneous, right response, whether it's a question or a situation or individual. The process should be so quick. Sometimes we note after that, I could have done better. I could have used these words, would have been more effective. That's why sometimes I feel when something is lacking and missing, that should be aimed that nothing is lacking and missing, because that's where you miss a lot of things. We miss right opportunities. And that is why this be present at that moment, have patience and just have trust and watch, no? Drama is quite sensible, quite sensible. It's all sensible, but sometimes I laugh and say to drama, you're pretty sensible, you do very well. I don't know why I was not kind of waiting for you to play. Sometimes we want to play faster than it is. It's all right, you have remote in your hand for screen, you can forward it, backward it, but not this drama. This drama you want to go forward, you can't. Make it backward, reverse, you can't. Can we? Other films, they are recorded, you can, but not this drama. So our thoughts also, Baba used to say we think of too far or we think of past. So you are forwarding it because you don't like certain scenes. But you have to watch, only you have to see in what stage I am watching. So I will definitely say that, especially in Madhuban, to spend time on yourself with different kinds of drill, and so that there is this fullness. That's why my concern always had been, and of course this time I got a chance to say that we are at sacred land. It's not we come to receive, but we come to contribute. What I will contribute, others will receive. My doing tapasya here, others will come and get inspired by tapasya. Because when you come to sacred land, then you have to see how you're using your time, how you're using your thoughts, and so that I am making a big offer also, like Brahma Baba. Panda Bhavan is a pilgrimage place. He walked, he talked, he played. So there is power in that land. No, you must have heard when people walk in that courtyard up to certain places in Tower of Peace. Even it has been told by those who know about energy that you just walk from there, you could feel, because Brahma Baba used to walk there. Am I leaving such energy here? And which we can. Even, see, keeping ourselves busy also is a illusion, We have to, whatever we have to do, we have to do it. But still we can keep timings and take breaks and intervals and pause and say, let me do our spiritual exercise combined with, and I'm telling you, everything gets done. Otherwise you do whole day, still you will find that things didn't work out because you didn't do your spiritual realm. So this, why it happens, Baba said, stop this queue. So one concern is there shouldn't be queue, but then am I ready for something elevated to create? Like for me, I don't have much concern for wasteful thoughts, but my concern is what else is emerging which I can offer? Because I need to emerge some more elevated, more pure vision, more. So I should be focused on not defense side, but on a what am I have to be ready for? Like I always say, ever ready means for opportunities. So this is how paying this personal attention on the self in Madhuban. And we are very fortunate. Why Dadi is going there? That's not her direction. She should come up. Yeah, ऊपर. हो गया ना 7 बज गए योग करने ना. हाँ पहले प्रोग्राम है. योग अच्छा योग बाद में होगा. Okay. Om Shanti everyone and thank you.